Do you know what's been sitting heavy on my mind lately? Children don't look like children anymore. And before anyone twists this into judgment, it is not. Makeup can be art. Self-expression can be beautiful. I am not here to shame a 12-year-old for wanting glitter on her eyelids or lip gloss in her school bag. But I am asking a question that feels uncomfortable. Why does childhood suddenly look like a performance? Why are kids walking around with full contour, lash extensions, skin routines meant for 30-year-olds, their faces curated like Instagram feeds before they've even figured out who they are? When did being young stop being enough? Because I remember when being a kid looked different. It looked like scraped knees, messy ponytails, Claire's clip-on earrings that turned your ears green, watching cartoons after school with cereal in oversized bowls. It looked like staying outside until the streetlights came on. Now, some kids don't even know what Phineas and Ferb is, or watching Stampy Longhead, or waking up early for Saturday morning cartoons on Cartoon Network and arguing over which character was the best. Childhood used to have spaces. Tween spaces. Awkward in-between spaces where you were allowed to be cringe, allowed to experiment badly, allowed to exist without feeling constantly observed. Now it feels like these spaces are gone. You are either a baby or expected to become an adult overnight. And maybe social media accelerated that, because kids today don't just grow up around classmates anymore. They grow up around influencers. Perfect faces, perfect skin, perfect routines. 10-year-olds watching "Get Ready With Me" videos from people twice their age. The sociologist Bandura explains how children learn from copying, and that's how humans survive. So what happens when role models they copy are selling adulthood as beauty? Of course, they start rushing. Of course, they think beauty means looking older. And honestly, that breaks my heart a little. Because there's something deeply sad about a child feeling like their natural face is already not enough. It reminds me of The Sims 4 when you skip through all life stages too quickly. When you age the character up immediately because childhood feels boring. But then you later realize you skipped the entire story. The tree houses, the chaos, the awkwardness, the innocence. You can never really get that back. And maybe that's what we're doing in real life now. Speed running childhood. Like everyone's trying to unlock adulthood early, as if growing up is some achievement badge. But adulthood is not a prize. No one tells you that when you finally get there, you spend half your 20s mourning the softness you lost. Wanting to feel small and safe again. Wanting one more carefree summer, one more cartoon marathon, one more moment before the world started asking you to brand yourself. Even shows like Euphoria changed the aesthetic of teenagehood. Teenagers on screen stopped looking awkward and started looking polished, cinematic, hyper, beautified. And younger kids watched that. They absorbed it. Because media has always taught us what growing up is supposed to look like. I think about the scene from Barbie, where she suddenly starts thinking about death in the middle of this perfect fantasy world. That is what this feels like to me. A sudden awareness. A realization that something innocent is disappearing quietly while everyone calls it normal. And maybe the saddest part is, kids today are growing up under constant visibility. When we were younger, you could have an awkward face in peace. A bad haircut, nobody documented it. Terrible makeup, no evidence. Now, every phase is photographed, posted, compared, analyzed. It's already up on someone's private story before the moment's even over. Imagine trying to discover yourself while feeling watched all the time. That would make anyone perform. And again, this is not me saying makeup is evil. It's deeper than the makeup itself. It's about why children feel pressure to perfect themselves before they even know themselves. It's about why softness is disappearing, why play is disappearing, why looking older has become aspirational so early. Because children deserve the freedom to be children, to look like children, to sound like children, to exist without constantly editing themselves for approval. There is nothing embarrassing about innocence. Maybe we need to stop treating childhood like something to escape from. Because one day they will grow up, and they will realize the things that they were rushing to leave behind was the very thing adulthood can never give.